Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, NerdModon, and welcome to episode 12 of Battle Reports, a video series where I'll be going over a particular weapon in Battlefield 1 and breaking down the statistics of the weapon to provide you guys with a better idea of how the weapon will perform on the battlefield. So for today's episode, we're actually going to be taking a look at the Huot Automatic. Now, of course, in real life, it's more commonly known as the Huot Automatic Rifle. Now, just in case you guys are not very familiar with this weapon, let's briefly talk about the historical relevance of this particular weapon during this period. In 1916, the Canadian Expeditionary Force was desperate for a light machine gun. The Ross rifle had been taken out of service and there was a large surplus of standard issue rifles. That same year, Joseph Huot adopted the Ross straight bolt action. Furthermore, he copied the cooling system that was found on the Lewis gun. Lastly, the Huot Automatic fed from a 25-round drum magazine. Now, in early September 1916, he was approached by the government to license the weapon. The meeting was a success and he was hired by the government Small Arms Experimental Department. So at this particular point in Joseph Huot's life, everything was actually working out really well, considering that he had just been signed on with the government, so of course that came with some security that normally would not be present if you were just a solo manufacturer. In addition, he was also filling a void for the Canadian Expeditionary Force, considering that they were desperate for a light machine gun during World War I. So as you may know, unfortunately all good things must come to an end. A drawback of the Huot Automatic was that it was only fully automatic. The weapon possessed no provision for semi-automatic fire. During this time, Enfield noted 13 flaws in the weapon that ranged from issues with the barrel to the material the weapon was comprised from. Unfortunately, the war ended before the weapon could see service. The idea was dropped once the war concluded, thus only 4 specimens are known to exist. Now, with a brief excerpt of the history of this particular weapon, let's transfer over to the variant system and discuss what type of variants are available for this weapon. The Huot Automatic has 2 available variants. The 2 available variants are the Huot Automatic Low Weight and the Huot Automatic Optical. Since we have uncovered the 2 available variants, let's break down what each variant does in respect to the weapon that it has been attached to. For starters, we have the low weight variant, which is considered to be lightweight, which allows it to recover faster from recoil, thus making it more accurate. Likewise, we have the optical variant, which has the inclusion of an optic, thus it provides the user with better accuracy at medium ranges. Now that we've had the opportunity to further break down the variant system, let's move over to the weapon statistics, since this is the most prominent information that you as a player will run into while utilizing this weapon. It is worth noting that we will only be covering the information that is constant between all variants. As you may have noticed, each variant slightly changes some statistics depending on which variant the user has selected. Starting things off, this light machine gun has a rounds per minute clocking in at 475. In addition, the Huot Automatic has a velocity clocking in at 740 meters per second. Unfortunately, this velocity places the Huot Automatic at the second slowest velocity right in front of the DLC weapon that recently came out for Battlefield 1. Now, transferring over to the damage model, you guys will notice that this weapon will be doing a maximum of 23 damage until 12 meters. Now, after 12 meters, you're going to notice a gradual decline of the overall damage being outputted at range. And once you come to 47 meters, you're going to be doing a minimum of 15 damage per round. Now, to put this into layman's terms, all this really means is that this weapon is going to require anywhere from 3 to 7 rounds to down an individual player. It is highly recommended to attempt a few headshots in there, considering that it will decrease your time to kill, ultimately saving you some ammunition for your next target. Now, with a weapon of this configuration, you're going to be granted with a magazine capacity of 26 rounds. Now, in the midst of suppressing the opposition or downing individual players, you might quickly find yourself having to reload this weapon. In any case, if you happen to leave at least 1 round left in the magazine, you'll be granted with a short reload clocking in at 2.85 seconds. Likewise, if you happen to expend all of the ammunition available in the magazine, you'll be then granted with a long reload clocking in at 4.25 seconds. When you consider the very nature of these weapons, it's most likely that you'll be utilizing them in a defensive manner. One of the largest attributes that have been assigned to the light machine guns in Battlefield is that they have a higher rate of suppression, so of course this is definitely a unique feature that's available for weapons of this configuration. Furthermore, a hidden feature of the light machine guns that many players don't recognize as occurring while utilizing these weapons is that they become more accurate the longer you hold down the trigger. This benefit can be incredibly beneficial to those that are trying to engage targets at medium range, considering that more of your rounds will be striking the opposition, thus granting you with more kills at medium ranges. Ultimately, the Huot Automatic is a very unique weapon, considering that it is the level 10 unlock for the support class. Now, without a doubt, this weapon is to be utilized in a defensive manner, considering that there are weapons that are much better at close quarters compared to a weapon of this configuration. If you try to utilize this weapon outside of its designated ranges, you'll quickly find that weapons like the A10 Hunter alongside the Automatico are going to do much better at those close quarter combat situations. Likewise, if you try to utilize this weapon at long range, you're going to quickly find that self-loading rifles in addition to the sniper rifles are going to be far more effective at those long distances. In its current implementation, it's a very niche weapon considering that it doesn't necessarily facilitate any one role very well. However, it has a combination of different aspects that makes it a very unique weapon on the battlefield. But anyway guys, that's really all the information I have for you. Hopefully you found something in the video insightful and or entertaining. But of course, until the next episode guys, this has been NMO, and I'm going to be signing out guys. Peace!